I'm Elliot Brownell, and I'm going to be talking about why cheer is a sport. According to the National Collegiate Athletic Association, cheer isn't a sport. I'm going to interview 2 college cheerleaders to get their perspective. The first person I'm interviewing is someone who's been a part of the community for a while. His name's Nano. All right, how have you reached out as an athlete to someone with more knowledge in the sport in order to improve?
So I had met this guy. His name was, we'll just call him Michael. And I knew he was on Team USA, and I know he had moved to Santa Fe. So I reached out to him one day, asked him if I could pay him for a private lesson. And he told me if I gave him just some gym space, he would just come teach us for free. So I found gym space, and he ended up working with us hand in hand for probably about 3 months. And that was probably the biggest improvement I made by reaching out to someone.
What are aspects of cheer that someone outside of the community would overlook?
I think how much athleticism it takes and how physical the sport is. It's very physical to stunt, and you're constantly crashing with another person and colliding and having to learn how to adapt to this, and your body has to adapt to it. And it takes a lot of athleticism to do the stunting, but it also takes a lot of athleticism to do the flips, and all of the tumbling is very athletic. And I feel like that's very overlooked by people outside of the community.
The NCAA hasn't defined cheer as a sport. In what ways does cheer require athletic ability?
Like I just said, tumbling, stunting, even the pyramids and the baskets all require athleticism, because it requires a lot of strength and a lot of mobility. And I think those are 2 of the most defining aspects of athleticism.
So to add on to what Nano was saying, cheer is really athletically demanding, and you need a tryout to get into UNM. So I'm going to be asking one of my friends, Max, who's a part of the cheer team, about some requirements that UNM needs in order for people to get in. According to NCAA, cheer is not a sport. What did you have to do in order to join UNM?
Well, in order to join UNM, I had to have a few required skills, which was a toss hands, a hands extension. They did work with me a little bit. It is required to have some tumbling, which is the flips and stuff, right? But, excuse me, they were willing to work with me. I did not have a backflip. And so, those were the skills that you need to get onto UNM.
I think cheer should be considered a sport.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of physical aspects to it that I wasn't even aware of when I first joined. I mean, we do a lot of lifting, right? We do our flips, and that takes a lot of energy and power that people just don't recognize. And even now in my own workouts, I focus a lot on my explosiveness and my power just so I can be better at cheer.
And compared to other sports you participated in, what makes cheer different?
Well, the thing that makes cheer different is, especially from football and baseball, is it's a lot more technical than you think, right? I have a lot of great coaches that said technique beats strength any day. And I am a firm believer in that now, because now that I have started to develop a technique for cheer, I feel like I have been getting better. So I would say that mastering the technique is just like no others. It's just like no others. It's just like no others.
Come on.
If a nigga want up, then I'm buck. Shut these doors, but some think they tough. Just try to get some blood.
After seeing the difficult aspects of cheer and hearing some insight from the cheerleaders themselves, do you think cheerleaders should be recognized as athletes in a sport, or should they just continue to be recognized as people on the sideline cheering? My name's Elliot Brownell, and this is my project on why I think cheer should be a sport. Thank you.